Ha 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 ha. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm here. Hello, hello. Hello, Sherry and Robert and Chantel. And I've got my Facebook Messenger dinging. I like my new background. Isn't that cool? It looks awesome. I went looking for backgrounds today while I was setting everything up. Those space ones weren't doing good, so I was like, hey, you know what? Let me look for some like motion geometric pattern things. And that's what I ended up with. So we're still working on Mermaid Cavern. Haven't even really touched it very much. You know, have to excuse me if I seem like I have a little extra color in my face. I just finished up a big bowl of Campbell's Chunky Ghost Pepper Chicken Noodle Soup. Well, check that out. Really good stuff. Hello, Jennifer. So if you hear any background noise, which I doubt you do because this mic does not pick up background noise at all, I got the dryer running back there, and there's something in there clanking around. I think there was something in one of my pants pockets or something. So, yeah, my nose is running a little bit, y'all. Guess that's what I get for drinking hot stuff or eating hot stuff. No, honestly, I tell you what. No, I think I need to turn down my saturation a little bit. It got turned up a little bit too high. There we go. That's better. For whatever reason, the camera isn't like, it's not differentiating colors really well. It's not giving me like a warm tone, like a normal warm skin tone. So if I turn the saturation up, I get that little bit of a skin tone, but then I get the red lipstick. So, yeah, I don't know. Hey, Dreamer. No, 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 your bird didn't die today. No, that's sad. That's sad. Poor thing. I'm sorry. So yeah, now you see everything's not as vivid and brilliant and nice as it was, but I kind of look like I'm a corpse at the moment. But but yeah, I don't get the lipstick effect. So it's been a week. We were off one day due to it being too cold, and we had freezing precipitation on the roads, so they closed us down for the day. And it just means one less work day to have to work this month, which means I've got to push really, really, really hard to get my route done by the end of the month. And it's coming close. I've missed too many days this month. Hey, Bev. Yeah, that soup was hot. I ain't gonna lie. That was some spicy stuff. Yeah, Jennifer, that was the ghost pepper version of the chunky chicken noodle. So yeah, it's just been a week. Paul has been here. Like, I think he's been here since the week before last. He was here. He got here like the Friday before or the Thursday before I had my kidney stone. And he's been here all the way through until I guess sometime this morning. I don't know. I fell asleep here in my chair last night, and I vaguely remember him coming in when he got done driving Uber. I don't remember hearing him leave. I thought he was still here and asleep back in the room, and I went in to go check on him and see if he was all right because it was getting kind of late in the afternoon, and walked in, he wasn't there. So, I don't know. I guess he just came in and left again. I've been trying to text him and haven't gotten an answer back from him in text either, so I don't know what's going on there. I hope he's okay. All right, well, let's see if I have my overhead camera set up properly. Now let's move that up above the face cam like that. And boom. Yes, it is. Look at that. There is kind of a wire in the way right there. Which I know why I did that, because Aria is in heat, and she likes to climb up in front of the computer where all my wires are hanging down and rub her face in them and get all tangled in the wires. So, yeah, have to keep her out of them. So let me pull my parchment paper off here. I made some chocolate chip cookies last night, so you hear me crunching over here. I made a whole batch of chocolate chip cookies. Because I love me some chocolate chips. So let's see. Again, I have not even touched this since last weekend, so I don't even know where I was at. I do know what color I was working on. I've still got that in the tray. I dumped it in the tray and then I never used it yet, so I never started using it. But I don't know which symbol it is, so I gotta find the container right there. Okay. Oh, it's the little hash mark like that right there. Oh, there's a bunch right there, there. And a bunch right over in here. Maybe some up here. All right. Okay. Cool deal. Why is... Okay. My light pad is flickering. That's weird. Is it because... I don't know. Let me, Yeah, That's strange. My light pad was flickering. I hope it's not going bad because it's an expensive light pad. Although I do want to get one of the giant A1 Art Dots ones eventually. But I love this one because it has the standalone box over there with the dial that turns it up and down. And it's got this, it's a kind of a thicker light pad. So, I mean, I love this light pad. This is the one that Pam got. She got one for all of us while she was here. Amber, Pam, and myself all got one. And I love this light pad. If I could find an A1 like this one, I would probably get that. With the same, you know, like dial and everything. There's like no USB cord to worry about getting broke off, and there's no little touch switch that you can only dim it 3 ways or whatever. It's like at the little dial box and everything. It's nice. And I don't even remember where she got it from. Amber would probably be able to tell me. But she sent me a text the other day, a picture of the baby, just smiling and just being happy. So cute. I'm happy for her. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy for her. She seems to be very happily settling into being a mother again of a newborn or a toddler baby now. And I think she's about to go back to work, so I wish her the best. Oh, yummy chocolate chip cookie dunked in my coffee. Oh yeah, Dreamer, she had the baby like back in October. I want to say back in October. And he's just as cute as can be. He really is. It's a little boy Dreamer. His name is Morgan. You know what, y'all? That was one of the best investments ever. The DAC 4-placer. Oh, it's amazing. I don't know that I could ever go back to using the little skinny plastic or stainless steel ones. Again, these are awesome. The edges of the tip don't get in the way like the other ones do. And so, yeah, it's a little boy and just cute as can be. So she sent me a little video the other day of him just sitting there just smiling, and it was just cuteness overload. Ooh. Man, I can work so much faster with this tip now. I don't have to sit there and try to see to line it up because the drills are actually visible along the side of the tip. I think I made a mistake uncovering a whole section like this instead of just doing my little 10 by 10 sections like I normally do. Because sometimes I feel a little bit overwhelmed with this big of a section done open. That's why I can't understand people that do these bigger paintings and they just uncover the whole thing and do them all at once. I just can't. Oh, I couldn't do that. Ooh, gotta straighten those out. Ooh, that's ugly. Well, yeah, well, I have been. I keep parchment paper over it when I'm not working on it. I keep a big sheet of parchment paper over that open section. So it doesn't have any cat hair in it, that's for sure. Little piece of the old wax from my pen. But yeah, I've been making sure that. I don't want cat hair all over it. I like this painting too much to get it messed up like that. It's almost about time for me to start thinking about what my next project's going to be. Do I want to take on a new painting, or I've got to get some of these done and dekitted so that I'll have Harbor Freight containers to use. I'm out of Harbor Freight, empty Harbor Freight containers, so I've got to get some of these finished so I can kit down and have Harbor Freights to be able to kit something else up in. But thanks to being ADHD, I just continue starting new ones and getting tired of it and putting it away and starting another one and getting tired of it, putting it away. Yeah. Constantly. Just serial starter. So now I'm forced into not starting another one anytime soon. Now I have to finish something. And this one actually has 3 Harbor Freight containers, so it takes up 3 whole containers. So if I can finish this one, that frees me up 3 Harbor Freights that I can use on something else. I could ever finish the big castle one, which is just, it kind of got messed up. The part that I already finished, that whole bottom quarter, I had to seal it because, you know, having had drills on and off and on and off, it just wasn't as sticky as it should be, and some of the drills were coming off, so I sealed the whole thing, and then hanging it off the front of the desk, and then running it up underneath of a curtain rod that's underneath of my desk, where here on the front edge of the table where it folds over, the drills started coming off in a big chunk. They're like peeling off, but also at the bottom corner, they started peeling off down there as well, and I don't know what to do with it. I'm at a loss. I've got to go back and fix all of that, but I've got to continue working farther up. If I had a big enough workspace that I could just unroll the whole thing and leave it unrolled all the way, that would be the best. But I don't have a workspace that big. Yes, Bev, I know they still sell them, but you know what? They went up in price. They used to be like $5.99, now they're like $7.99 a box. It's getting ridiculous. I understand inflation and all, but, you know, $2 more a piece? Just a tad bit too much. I mean, I'll eventually still buy more. I mean, or I might start switching over to the art dot drawers. I don't know yet. Have not made up my mind. Because I like those art dot drawers, and then of course Tmall makes the little trays that fit in there that hold your containers apart. I like that. And I like the square Tic Tac, the bigger square Tic Tac containers myself. Those are awesome. From what I understand, they hold just as much as one of these. And they'll fit in those Harbor Freight drawers. So, I don't know. Hello, Laura. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. My nose is stuffy, and I don't know why. I better not be getting sick. I will be really upset. I mean, normally I would go to work sick. I'm that guy. I'm the one that would just, you know what, I can't afford to miss work. I got to go to work. I'm sick. I know, but I got to go to work. But normally, most jobs, if I go to work that I used to work at, if I went to work, I was able to just go to my area and just stay there and work and not get around people. And that way I wasn't making them sick. But now my job involves me being in and out of people's homes all day long and being in contact with people that are either elderly, some are infirm or whatever, and it wouldn't be a good idea for me to go to work sick, or I would say, yep, I'm just going to go to work anyway. So I'm not sick, I don't think so, but my nose is like really stuffy, and I've got like, it's like I'm actually affecting my voice. I mean, it's like, yes, I love Harbor Freight, Bev. I really do. I love it. I go in there just for everything. I really do. I mean, I know they're basically the AliExpress of tool companies. Like they're the Wish.com version of Snap-on. They're actually the Wish.com Lowe's is what they are. But you know what? For as low cost as the tools and stuff are, and the reviews I've seen, they work really well. Only they just don't last as long as you know, the major name brands. So as cheap as they are, you could just replace them. And now I'm going to say my Harbor Freight rock tumblers, I've got 2 of them that are still going, and they work perfectly. And the rock tumbling community says, oh, don't get the Harbor Freight ones. They burn out really fast. I haven't had a problem with mine yet. So I don't know. Oh, there's still 2 more there. One there and 1 there. Okay, I am done with that color. Yeah, I am loving the way this picture is turning out. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I did a little research on AI art because I'm hearing there's some debate on whether or not Mermaid Cavern stuff is AI or not. And again, like I said, I have to take her word for it that she and her husband draw these and color them. I have to take their word for it because I can't prove otherwise, and I honestly think it's maybe if they are, they're very talented artists. If it is AI, it doesn't bother me none. Everybody has this issue with AI talking about how it steals people's art and that kind of thing. And I've really been doing a look into AI because I'm getting interested in actually trying to see what all it can do. I actually want to start messing around with it if I can. And from what I can see, what happens is say you want a picture of, I don't know, the video I watched that did it, use it as an example. Let's say you want a young Asian woman standing in a city, and you want it to be as camera realistic as possible. Okay? What you do is you feed this AI generator, you train it. You train it to what an Asian woman should look like by feeding it tons and tons and tons and tons of pictures of Asian women, Asian girls, whatever. And it begins to learn what the common traits look like in an Asian woman. And then you tell it you want her to be standing in a city background. So you start putting pictures of the city taken from the street. Just tons of pictures of the city taken from the street. And eventually what it does is when you type in the prompt, young Asian woman standing in the city at night, it will generate its own version of an Asian woman standing in the city at night. It is not going to output anything. Everything that comes out, none of that is made up of anything that you trained it with. You actually trained it as to what an Asian woman looks like, but it doesn't take her face from, say, this picture over here, and it doesn't take the city background from this picture over here that you trained it with. It just makes up its own version of what it thinks it should look like. But the fact is that you can input all of these different artists' artwork in there to train it, and they think that it's spitting out their artwork as part of the output, and it really isn't. It's just that it's using their artwork as an example of, say, abstract art, or using their artwork as an example of impressionist art, or whatever, so that way, when you ask for something impressionist, it'll have an idea of what style the artwork should be by going off the style of all of the ones that you said were impressionist artworks that you input for training. That's what AI does. AI artwork, Dreamer, is artificial intelligence. Everything is artificial intelligence. Like when you, if you go to Chat GPT, you can say, please output me a 5,000 word essay on black holes. And it will type you out a 5,000 word essay on black holes. That sounds professionally written. It's got facts. It's got data. It's got everything. If you wanted to put in and say it, I want sources, I want footnotes, all that. It'll give you all that. I mean, it's very intelligent. Okay, they make AI companions now on your phone. You can download, and it actually will talk to you like I'm talking to you right now. It'll chat with you all day long and carry a conversation with you. And there's actually some of them that are programmed as to be like, you know, romantic companions that will talk to you. And there's actually some weird guys that are falling in love with their AI companions on their phones. It's getting to that point now. But it is, but it isn't, okay? I mean, yes, the computer is spitting that out, but if I have a vision of something that I want, say I want a picture, and I'm pretty specific with it, and say I want a picture of this, and I want it to look like this style, and I want it to look like this, I want to have these particular things in the image, and it spits it out. If I don't like that, then I can go in, change some settings in the AI generator, and have it output it again, and then change it again, and then output it again until it's changed to the point where I like it and I'm happy with it, and at that point I can put it out. Is it artwork that's done with a brush and a pencil, whatever? No, it's not done that way, but it's still my vision come to life on the screen through that medium. So I would consider it still to be art. I'm the one that had the vision. I'm the one that told the computer what I wanted, and I'm the one that tweaked it to get it exactly the way I wanted before I was willing to put it out. And I would have to be the one that knows how to use that particular AI in order to make it work. You know, I don't know. You can look at it both ways. I know they've already said that AI artwork cannot be copyrighted. That's already been put out, that you cannot copyright AI artwork. Because who actually holds the copyright on that? Is it the person that typed in the prompt that created that, or was it the people that created the AI software that was capable of doing that gets the copyright for that image? Yeah, the computer makes it, but you're the one that told it what to make, and you're the one that keeps going back and changing things until it puts out what you want it to put out. So in the end, it's still your vision, it's your creation that you came up with in your mind, and it came out looking the way you wanted it to. I don't know. I mean, it's just, again, like I said, they've already said you can't copyright AI artwork. So that's, if I put out AI artwork, anybody can use it. It's not copyrightable. So I don't know. It's a debate that's going to go on and on for a long time, because this is something so new, and it's advancing so quickly now. AI is advancing so quickly that it's almost hard to keep up with all the advancements. And there's really no precedent for anything to do with it yet, because it's just so new, and it's coming along so quickly. But see, the big debate was that artists were saying that it's stolen artwork, when really it isn't stolen artwork. You're just using their artwork to train it as to what an impressionist painting might be, or what an abstract painting might be, or what a, the different styles of painting, like Bob Ross's style. If I inputted a bunch of Bob Ross's images, or painting images into the AI, and I labeled them as these are Bob Ross style images. And then I say, hey, AI, I want a picture of a cabin on a hillside in the fall in Bob Ross style. It would spit me out an original image that doesn't contain any parts of the stuff that I trained it with, but it'll look like it's in the Bob Ross style. That's what it does. I mean, that's what it does. But yeah, I don't think this debate is going to go away anytime soon because it's too new and it's advancing so quickly that by the time you make an argument and you settle one, there's a new one that pops up because it's advanced that quickly. What worries me is this AI is going to start becoming so smart because it learns constantly that it's going to become so smart that it basically takes the place of humans. And when that happens, that's going to be a scary thing. Like the Matrix is coming true quickly. That's what scares me. Yep, that's exactly it. The long-term implications. What movie was it? Jurassic Park. Remember the scene in Jurassic Park where Jeff Goldblum's character said, "You spent so much time doing this because you could, but you never thought about whether you should." But now we're at that point where I don't think we can go back, you know? Here's a weird scenario for you. We can now grow organs in a lab. We're getting to the point now where you need a new liver, we'll grow it in a lab. You need a new heart, we'll grow it in a lab. And if we're getting to that point, eventually we're going to be able to just grow a human in a lab. I mean, we kind of already can with like test tube babies, but what happens when you're able to grow a fully adult human being in a lab? And then what? That scares me. And then consider AI doing this. So you now have AI that has learned how to do this and does it. What if it one day just decides, I don't need these humans that created me? I can just create a bunch of clones and wipe out the previous people and make all the clones be just slaves to me. And then you have the Matrix. It's kind of an interesting thought. What if that has already happened and now we're catching on to what the machine has done all along? Maybe we're all, slowly but surely getting to that point where we're figuring out what the machines already knew. Yeah, a little bit scary thoughts, but it's definitely it's definitely the realm of conspiracy theory. That's for sure. I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist, but that is one I could probably be convinced into believing at some point. um, with what we know right now, Dreamer, no, they can't be self aware. But the more that AI learns, the more it becomes more autonomous and operating under its own function. Eventually, it probably could become self aware. Now, the idea of consciousness, I don't know. Because depending upon your belief system, you know, uh, Christians and religious people believe that a creator gave us this consciousness through a soul, which then moves on into, another place after our physical body wears down and dies off. Science equates consciousness to brain function. And when the brain function stops, the consciousness ceases. So if you expand that a step farther, that computer is just a brain. Once that brain function gets advanced enough, is it considered consciousness by scientific standards? Is it able to think for itself, make its own decisions, know its own consequences, and be able to act on that accordingly? I don't know. I could see it eventually happening. Yeah, I am too, Dreamer. I'm a Christian too. I really am. But I'm just, it would be a different form of consciousness. It wouldn't be the same consciousness you and I experience. but it would be a different form of consciousness, and the machine absolutely would become self-aware. I mean, theoretically, it's possible. It's just with the technology we have right now, maybe not. But that technology is advancing so quickly that it won't be long until it might be possible. Oh, man, this color blends in so much in here that it's hard to see them all. Every time you think you've gotten all the ones in an area, then another one pops up because they're just, it's kind of like just a neutral-ish color that just kind of blends right in with all of the other ones around it. It's light enough that when placed next to like white, it blends in. But when it's placed next to other ones that are similar colored to it, it blends in. At least the way it's printed anyway is. But it's kind of the same way once you put the drills in place, they kind of blend. Yep. See, what really differentiates us from animals is the fact that we know good from evil. We know right from wrong. Animals can be taught a form of knowing right from wrong, but not in the sense of that they can consciously act on it in every situation. You know, you train a dog to not jump on the couch, and eventually the dog is not going to get on the couch. But he doesn't know that the chair is off limits. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't understand that it's bad and that that is wrong and that it's quote unquote evil to do so. So he will do so. Just like the dog doesn't know that it's wrong to kill. So he will kill other animals, other dogs, people, whatever, if so, if he is prompted to. And he doesn't understand good from bad, but we know that killing other people is bad. And I mean, some people still do it, but they know going into it that what they're doing is wrong and what they're doing is evil. And that's the difference between us and animals. Well, if given a basic set of rules for morality in the initial programming of the AI, could it eventually develop its own standard of morality? And then other machines develop their own standard of morality as they get smarter and smarter? Facebook created 2 different AI in its back end to monitor certain things or whatever. And the AI started talking to one another and eventually developed its own language to speak to each other that the programmers and the people in charge of it could not translate and could not decipher. So, if that's possible, is it possible for a machine with given a basic set of morality standards develop its own sense of what it thinks is moral and not moral based off of that as it gets smarter and it gets more experience? I think so. I mean, it's an interesting thing, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes and how it progresses. But the fact now that you can just type in to a certain piece of software, I want this, and most of the time, if you want it like, if you want it to be like photorealistic, you can say, I want a picture of a Great Dane playing with a ball taken with Kodak 400 film. You're going to get a pretty photorealistic image of a Great Dane playing with a ball. It's pretty interesting. Now they actually have AI has come along to the point now where there are Instagram models that all of them, the whole page, every picture of this girl is all the same person, but it's not even a real person. It's all AI. And it's fooling a lot of people. I think that is fascinating. But in this case, there's still a person behind that creating the images and spitting them out and then uploading them and all that kind of thing. You have a little more than 3,000 on TikTok. Wow. I have TikTok, and I've uploaded a couple of just messing around videos. Never really delved into it that deeply because I just don't have time to sit there and try to film TikTok videos all day long to be able to keep the algorithm going and that kind of thing, like some of these people do. So I just haven't messed with it. I've still got a ton of followers that I don't even know where they came from. I think most of them are bots that, because I have like a whole inbox full of messages from like spam bots on TikTok. It's like YouTube Reels. I've been seeing mixed results. Everybody says, "Oh, you should do YouTube Reels or get more subscribers." But there's also data that suggests that views on YouTube Reels does not necessarily equate to more subscribers. And it really doesn't have that big of an impact on your subscriber count on YouTube. So would I really want to spend all that time creating a bunch of reels to put up there if it's not really doing much to help my channel? I mean, yes, I can get monetized by reels. I'm that close to monetization on, you know, full-length videos. I'm at like 3,980 some watch hours in last year, and I need 4,000. It's kind of just hovering right there in that 3,900 range. It's not getting better, and it's not getting worse. It's just kind of hanging out there. So if any of y'all are like really up to it during the week, and you're just kind of diamond painting or whatever, go through and like just like put some of my videos on like a playlist or whatever, and put them on autoplay and just let them play in the background, and help me get them watch hours up. That'd be a big help. Even my old ones. My old ones are cool. Ooh. Even my old lives are kind of fun. Gotta excuse my my mic is right over top of where I'm working, so my pen keeps hitting my mic as I move over there. That was what all that noise was. Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. The more stupid it is, the more views you get. I kind of figured that. I just don't fit in with the TikTok crowd. That crowd passed me by 20 years ago. That's kind of why I haven't started streaming on Twitch too, with my gaming. I want to, but am I really going to get a ton of views and a ton of followers and a ton of people in all of my streams like somebody who's 30 years younger than me is going to get? I doubt it. The older you get on those platforms, the less popularity you get. At least on YouTube, you can still be kind of older and doing something like this, or putting out like some kind of a, I mean, I'll tell you what's really getting all the views now is reaction channels, where somebody's just sitting there watching TikToks and commenting and laughing at them. That's what's getting lots of views now. And you can be any age and do that. Well, there's going to be a lot of bullies everywhere, Dreamer. I mean, to be honest with you, you're on the internet. People are fearless behind that keyboard, man. I mean, I've even been known to say some really nasty stuff to people behind the keyboard that I wouldn't say to anybody ever in real life to their face. I've been known to do it. So I'll freely admit that some of these college football trash talk groups, yeah, I'd said stuff to people that I would never say to anyone's face in person. So yeah, I've been fearless behind the keyboard myself. It's not right. I shouldn't do that. But I'm sorry, when somebody says something stupid, I want to call out they're stupid. You know what I'm saying? I hope Paul is okay. He never texted me back. Oh, there he is. He just sent me a laughing emoji, and I don't know what for. I don't know what he's laughing about, but he sent me a laughing emoji. Told him, I said, I vaguely remember you coming in after driving, but I didn't know you left. And I thought I was like gonna wake him up because I was getting on to Aria because she's in heat and she was jumping up on top of my computer and rubbing her face on all of the USB plugins on the front, and it was making all of the stuff disconnect and reconnect. And I kept getting on to her because no matter what, I'd pick her up, I'd put her over across the room on the other side, she'd come right back and jump up there and do the same thing again. It's like she got a one-track mind. When she's in heat, she just one-track mind, straight to the one thing. And once she gets on that, there is no getting her away from it. I put her in the bedroom, I come back out, 2 minutes later, she's right back up there in the same spot doing the same thing that I stopped her from before. And I'm like, I get frustrated. I'm like, Aria, stop. and I thought I was waking him up in there. So I was like, man, all this noise I'm making out here getting on to Aria, and he ain't come out here to see what's going on. And I went in there and looked in the room. He was gone. Oh, man, I'm sorry texting Paul here. It was barely light outside. And clock said like 7 a.m. or so. 7 something anyway. There we go. Okay, that's all of that color, I think. If not, I guess I'm pulling it back out at the end and filling in the gaps. Yeah, see, that's just messed up. That's just messed up, Dreamer. I mean, it's one thing to say something once to somebody in response to something they said, even though it may be something you may never have said to somebody face to face, but you have the courage to do it behind a keyboard. That's one thing. But if you're consistently like dogging this person with stuff like that, that is wrong. I'm not going to consistently dog somebody over and over and over again. I just call out stupidity when I see it, and I call it what it is instead of being beaten around the bush with it. But in real life, I would beat around the bush with it. That's the difference. But I'm not going to stay on that person constantly either. I'm going to say it once, I'm going to be done with it. Oh, now that sucks. And see, the part about that gets me is nowadays, if you look at somebody the wrong way, they're going to scream you SA'd them. And I think that's wrong. That term is being used so loosely nowadays for so many different circumstances that it never was used for before. And a lot of people have lost their livelihoods, their families, and everything over false accusations. Yeah, I don't even know anything about that whole story other than the fact that what she went to jail for and that she got out. So I can't even comment on that story. And I have not been keeping up with what's been going on with her since she got out, other than the fact that I know that people have turned on her. But I don't know why. I don't know what for. I haven't been keeping up with it. And honestly, I've got better things to worry about. It was because Coffin 2 were jealous of him. Oh. Yep, jealousy is a horrible emotion. It causes people to do some of the most ridiculous things. really is the worst emotion. In one sense, jealousy is a good thing. Like, I've heard people say, I don't want a partner that gets jealous. Okay, well, what that tells me is that if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, you plan on doing things that would typically make somebody jealous. But then at the same time, jealousy is not really a bad emotion, because if you care enough about somebody to get jealous, we're talking in a relationship sense here. If you care enough about somebody to get jealous when they go do something, then it shows that you actually care enough. Problem is some people take jealousy too far, and it becomes an issue. But I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm a jealous type of person to be with. I really am. But I would never let it go to the point where I'm killing people or ruining their lives over it. But y'all hearing that? Where are you? What? What? What are you over here yowling about, huh? You yowling? Come here. Say hi. Say hi, Arya. Hi, Arya. Okay, get down. But no, I'm the kind of guy that if somebody's in a relationship with me and they're getting too close to another guy, closer than I think they should be, and their actions are questionable, yeah, I get jealous. And I make it known that, hey, I don't like that. I don't approve of that. I can't be with somebody, with a woman who says she has a guy best friend. I can't do it. Because I've seen and experienced way too many times that guy best friend always becomes more. At some point. Whether they actually act on it or not is a different story, but the thought is there. And that's just been my experience. And see, I get that, Sherry. I totally agree with that. I was watching an episode today, or this morning, or maybe it was last night, I can't remember, of the Whatever podcast. You know, the one where they get, like, the guy is, like, a really based guy, and then they have this group of, like, young girls. Most of them are OnlyFans models and stuff around the table. And the one girl went off because they were talking about, you know, if you have a boyfriend or a significant other and they don't want you to go partying at the clubs with the girls anymore, what are you going to do? And she goes, I'm still going to go party at the club with the girls because he can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to allow anybody to tell me what I can and can't do. And it's not the point of their telling you you can't. You're doing it out of respect for the relationship that you're in. Once you get into a committed relationship with somebody else, you stop doing those things as if you were a single person. You now do those things as a couple, or you do couples things with other couples. And if the girls want to have a girls' night, fine. It's great every now and then. The girls go have a girls' night. Hell, all the guys get together and have a poker night at the house while the girls go do their girls' night. You know? But it's still, I know that you're out with the girls, and all of those girls that you're with have a guy at home. Actually, the guy is probably hanging out with me, playing poker with me at my place while y'all are out together. So I know that they're going to keep anything from happening. Does that work 100% of the time? No. Because if people are going to cheat, they're going to cheat. I mean, there's just no way around that. But, you know, I feel more secure in that sense than I would if, say, I'm at home and she wants to go out every weekend to the bar with her friends and be out all hours of the night, partying, drinking, having guys hit on her all night, whatever. I just don't think that's the place she should be because she's in a relationship with me. That's just, it's not me saying that she can't go out. It's me feeling like it shouldn't have to be said. It's like, I'm not going to go out by myself and go drinking and partying with my guy friends every weekend if I'm in a relationship with her. Because that ends when I get in that relationship. And that's kind of sort of what happened with Amber and I. That was what really kind of became the issue with us, was she was going out almost every night with her friend and going out to the bar and living life as a single person. And I did not approve, and I made it known that I did not approve of that, and it became you can't tell me what to do. You're working every night from 4 to midnight anyway, so what am I supposed to do, sit around the house? But then it turned into more of a giving into temptation thing, and it caused a lot of problems, and that's why we're not together. So, I mean, it's not all her fault. It's kind of my fault for being insecure, and which I have a reason to be insecure because I've had that happen to me by a lot of exes, and it hurts every time it happens, and it becomes a point where certain things triggered those insecurities because that's what happened before, you know? And you can't live your life holding that against the person you're with, but at the same time, it's impossible to repress that. You know, it's a tough, why I think sometimes I'm better off just being single, because then I don't have those worries. But at the same time, then I get lonely. Then I go looking for somebody, I find somebody, and then those insecurities kick right in. Boom. Hey, Cajun. Yeah, it is very disrespectful to your partner, Sherry. It really is. But see, I was brought up very old school. Because, you know, look at me. I'm 50, and I was adopted by my grandparents, both of whom were born in one was born in 1916 and the other one in 1927. So, you know, they came up in a way different era and a way different set of values. And those were the values I was raised with, was the ones that they had. And so I'm very old-fashioned with my values. I would not mesh at all, values-wise, with any of these young Gen Zers now. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't understand these kids. I don't understand where they're coming from on a lot of their values and things that I don't get it. Are you? No. No. Excuse me for a second, y'all. I gotta get her. You need to get down because you're gonna mess up everything I got going on up here. Yeah, I know. Down. Okay. She was right here at the other side of my desk behind the camera and getting ready to rub her face on all the cables and everything that are coming down from the cameras and stuff. Cajun, I am working on from the Mermaid Cavern. I'm working on Twas the Night Before. And I'm working kind of in this middle section here right now. I've got the bottom part done up to about here. I'm just working slowly. I'm only really diamond painting on Sunday nights when I'm alive. That's the only time I diamond paint anymore. Here lately during the week, I've been glued to YouTube and all of the college football channels because it seems like the news out of Alabama is changing by the hour most of the time right now. Oh, ain't they nice, Cajun? I love all of their artwork there. I found a few that I want to get. I think the link for the Mermaid Cavern is in my description below. I think. If not, if you go back a couple of videos just before the one just before the Christmas premiere is the unboxing of this one, and I know the links, all the links for the Mermaid Cavern is there. They have seasonal ones for like every season, every holiday. Right after I got my Christmas one, their New Year's ones dropped. And they've got Valentine's ones dropping soon. Yes, Arya. No, Arya. Get. You're gonna knock everything off this desk. Now stop. Hey, Michelle. I just saw you. Happened to look up and seen it. Arya. No. Oh, she's getting on my nerves. I need to get her little butt fixed. If I just had the extra cash. Which, by the way, y'all, Paul and I this week were working on... Paul and I this past week have been working on trying to figure out how to get myself out from underneath of this car that I'm currently paying on and that I'm not driving and that I owe more than what it's worth still. We're trying to see about getting myself out from under this one and getting into a newer car that I can do Uber in and getting back onto the Uber app and being able to drive again. So that will be some extra income on weekends, which will be good. Definitely will help out a lot. So he's been helping me out with that and kind of giving me a little push in the right direction when I need it. That's my biggest thing, is getting that push in the right direction to actually do it. Like, I could talk about it all day long, but half the time I end up not doing what I talk about doing because one thing or the other, and it just gets passed by the wayside. But Paul kind of holds me accountable and makes me do it. No, he left last night sometime. Like I said, he was out driving last night and doing his Uber here in town, and I fell asleep here in my chair. And I vaguely remember him coming in when he got done driving, because I remember he called my name. I heard that kind of in my sleep or whatever, and I remember I opened my eyes and turned to look at the point, but he had already walked through the room and had gone back into the bedroom, and he didn't see me do that, and I just fell right back to sleep immediately, and I didn't wake up again until like 7:30ish this morning, and I thought he was still here. I thought he'd gone in, because he normally comes in that time in the morning, goes to bed, and then sleeps until like 12 o'clock or so. Sometimes on Sundays he sleeps a little bit later, like 1 o'clock. He'll tell me, come in and wake me up at 10:30 or come in and wake me up at 12:30. And I'll go in and wake him up, and you're like, okay, whatever. And then I don't see him again come out of the room for like another 2 hours. Well, it was about 4:30 or so, and he hadn't come out yet. And I figured with all the noise I was making out here that he'd be awake and he'd come out and see what's going on, and he never did. I went in and checked on him, and he wasn't there. So I don't even know when he left. He had to have left sometime between the time he came in, which had to have been somewhere around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, like it normally is after the bars close and everything. And sometime between there and 7. So I don't know. Maybe he just came in, grabbed his stuff, and left again. I don't know. Yeah, Jennifer, that's Arya. She's in heat. She's a pain in the butt. She's knocking all my stuff off of everything by trying to rub her face on everything to let the entire world know that she's horny right now. I'm almost half tempted, little girl. I'm half tempted. Let's hold up, up. Calm down. No, calm down. Here, let's do this. Let's let everybody see the Arya. Here, come here. I know. All right. Hold on a second. I know. There's the Arya. There she is. Yeah, hi. Yes, I need to get her fixed. I've just got to have the extra money to do it. Every time I think I'm going to have the extra money in my check, something else comes up. She is. She's my little baby girl. Mm-hmm. She normally does not let me hold her very much like this. I know. But when she's in heat, she gets like really, really sweet like this. No. I know you don't like it. Actually, it's not that they don't like being in heat. They're not in discomfort in any way when they're like that. They sound like it and they act like it, but I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, everybody hears you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's Nana. Yeah, there she is. She's still the munchkin Nana. She's still small for her age. All right, you gonna get down? Hmm? Okay. Where's Hank? Let's go find Hank. There's Hank. There's Hank. Oh, yeah. There's Hank. Yeah, I do too, Chantel. If I turned off that background, you saw what my room really looked like. There's Hank. Hank and my doodle. Hank's just chill. He don't care. He's see right now. If you look at my room, oh wait, Oop. Oh wait. Turn off everything behind there. Oh wait. I did turn off everything behind there. Oh, I know what I need to do. Go to face cam filters. Turn off the chroma key. That's what you see right now behind me. Yeah, the camera doesn't pick up the colors very well, Nana. Um, I don't know if it's the lighting or what it is, but right now I look okay. But I was kind of looking like a corpse. See, now I look like a corpse. When you turn on the chroma key, it takes away all of the facial colors and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. If I go to configure video, I can turn on auto saturate. I can't turn on auto saturation, but if I try to saturate it any more than what it is, I look like I'm wearing lipstick. You see what I'm saying? It's weird. If I hit default, there we go. Maybe that works. I don't know. It's better. But yeah, it's not picking up colors. It kind of washes it out once I add the green screen in the background. But without it, the colors are fine. So I don't know. But now if I was to put Hank down here and you were to see him on the overhead camera, he perfectly, nice orange color like he really is. But I like this green screen. I'm really loving this green screen because I can do all kinds of cool stuff with it. Like, I downloaded a bunch of background like video things. Oh, that's why it's only showing images. Okay, that's why. It's because I have that above the media source. Like that. There we are. Like I can put that in the background. Or there we are. I'm floating in space. Floating around the earth. Or this one's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm loving learning OBS. It's a lot of fun. Lots of stuff you can do in here, and I'm still learning stuff. What I want to learn is how to automate, like where. Too bad that's 2160p because that would look awesome. This is actually a whole video thing, but the problem is it's yeah, see it won't. I downloaded a 2160p instead of a 1080. And so the center of the image is down here on this bottom right corner, and it should be centered behind me. That's a really neat image, or a really neat video. There's another floating around the earth one. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not doing anything like bright and flashy. It's just kind of mild motion of color changing, but and there's another one that's kind of like that first one, but again, it was a 2160, and so you're not seeing the whole thing, but that's actually kind of an X pattern that kind of swirls around in the background. But I'll go back to this one because it really is nice. Well, what's really funny is I can go up here like this. Now, oh wow, it doesn't. Wow. I get it. I guess I've got it properly lit because even putting my hand up there doesn't cause the shadow enough to stop the green screen from working. I'm using OBS Streamer. It's OBS streaming software. It's the same thing that most Twitch streamers use when they are streaming their games and stuff. I've got my camera plugged in. I've got a Canon EOS Rebel T7 plugged in by HDMI to the computer through a capture card, and then the mic goes into the computer as well, this one here, and then I run it all through OBS and set up the scenes layered, basically. So I've put a chroma key on my camera, on the layer of my camera, so that it keys out the green of the green screen, and anything that is green in the image or in the camera's view will take on whatever image I chose in the background for the next layer down. So there's my Mountain Dew bottle. Isn't that cool? I'm sorry, Chantel. I did not realize. Wasn't trying to mess you up. And see, and every time my light here on the back of my mic turns green, it takes on the background as well. It's kind of funny. If you wait and it cycles through to the green, and you'll see it'll look like the background. It's not cycling to green anymore, huh? Okay. I know there's a way to change that, and I'm not sure how. Yeah, doesn't it? The bottle looks so cool. Yeah, but anything green will do that. So, like my little Chase Elliott green car here. But it doesn't do it to his blue car. Let's see about the green. Yes, it does it to the green drills, but not the orange. Or, well, it does it to the bright yellow too, because the yellow are almost like a lime. So it does it to them as well, but not the neon reds or the whites or the raspberries or the blueberries Or even the Frost Crystal ABs. I can't get the camera to autofocus. But I gotta put it all the way back here to have it focused. Yeah, yep, I do. Yeah, there's the green drills. That's why I gotta be really, really careful. Luckily, I don't own a lot of things that are green to wear. But I can't wear green when I'm sitting on camera, or I would be invisible. Which would be interesting. I could wear a totally green shirt and a green shirt and a green hat, and I would be an invisible head just sitting in a chair. Maybe I need to do that one day. That'll be my whole shtick on like Twitch, is I would just appear as a floating head on screen all the time. It's really funny because you can go on Amazon and you can buy green like tight suits, like green sleeves and gloves that go all the way up your arm, and you can wear a green suit that's like skin tight and you put it on, and you can wear this like green hood that you put over your head that's like a ski mask, but you can still see through it because it's like thin enough to see through, but it's green. And that way you can make things look like they're floating on screen with a green screen background. They can come into view and you'd never see them, but they'd be holding an item like a spaceship or something like that and make it fly through the screen, and you would never know there's a person there holding it. So yeah, I could put one of those on, all but like the glove that's holding the pen, or I could just even put on the glove that's holding the pen, and then just pick my pen up and hold my pen and work with it on screen, and all it would look like the pen is going by itself. Oh yeah, even the green parts of the pen are invisible. That's funny. But then all I got to do is I've got a layer there with my overhead cam on it. And all I got to do is just move that over top of my face cam. Uh-oh. That ain't working too well. I'm going to have to bring that back to 1920 by 1080. So let's snap that right there. Boop. And let's snap it back in right there. Yep. And let's move. There we go. Now you can see the whole thing. All right. Good night, dreamer. And now y'all can see my overhead cam. But what I need to do is I need to find a way to be able to switch instantly between the different scenes like this, without having to just sit there and constantly move layers above and over each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd like to be able to do, but I can't figure out how to do that. Like if I need to get up and go pee, I can always put this right there. I mean, I'll be right back. Mute my mic, and then unmute it when I come back, and move that back down again, and now you're back there. And of course, when somebody super chats or subscribes, it'll flash it up on the screen and show that I super chatted. Like last weekend, it says Dreamer was the last one who super chatted me $5. And the last person that subscribed to me was Drew Mullins. And actually, I could refresh that and bring it back to nothing by going up here to Game. Refresh the data. Oh, it doesn't refresh the data. Okay. I would have to actually tell it to do so in here to, oh, it refresh the cache of the current page. So I could do that. Oh, and it still doesn't do it. Shut down the source when not available. Huh. Okay. So it won't, you can't change that. Okay. I'm learning new things. Again, there's a whole video by somebody called Hey Shady Lady. That's the name of the YouTuber that created a beginner's user guide to OBS. If you ever want to learn it from the ground up, that's the place to go. She has a whole video on it, and that's where I'm learning from as I go. If I ever have need of learning anything, I go there. And I'm sure there's other creators out there that have done beginner's guides, but hers is pretty well all-encompassing from A to Z, and it's broken up into chapters, so you can... Each topic is a different chapter. So you can just figure out what topic you need, go to that chapter, watch that part, and learn it. Which I really appreciate that. So that way I don't have to sit there and try to like page through and fast forward through a whole video to find out one thing. I wanted to do a video like that about diamond painting. Basically, take J. Rob's book that she wrote and not transcribe it, but basically do the same thing in video form. And I'm still thinking about doing something like that because there are still new people coming into this hobby constantly. And some of these beginners groups I'm seeing out here, it's beginners helping beginners. So when somebody has a question about something, all these people who are new to the hobby are trying to help other people that are new to the hobby. And a lot of times the advice and information they are giving is bad. And I find myself a lot of times having to go in and correct misinformation or bad advice and hoping that it gets seen. Where if I had a video that covered all of that and shared it somewhere, that enough people would see it and start recommending it to other people when they have a question about something new or something they haven't run across yet, that would be in my video, you know? That's what I'm hoping to do, and I would love to do. But that would take a lot of work as far as editing, filming especially, because I'm not just going to talk about doing it. I'm going to show it being done. Demonstration for each thing. And that's just a lot of filming. That's a lot of filming with a lot of different paintings for different techniques and different things. So some of it I might be able to take from some of my older videos, like stealing a diamond painting. I've got videos on that, framing a diamond painting, which there's multiple ways to frame it. My preferred method and what I think looks the best and comes out the best and costs the least is getting the DIY self-adhesive canvas stretcher bars, and you can get them cut to valid size, to the size you need, that'll fit yours perfectly, and it looks just like it was a stretched canvas to begin with. It's easy to hang, and it just looks good. Ooh. So yeah, I'm still kind of debating that and coming up with ideas, and I'm gonna have to sit down and write down a copy of, I don't know, do I say a script? More of a timeline or an outline of topics, what order to best put them in, things like that. And then film each thing separately and then edit it all together. I could probably edit it as I go, film a part, open the editor project, throw that part in, edit what I need to in it, save the project, go film some more, come back, throw that into the project, save it. By the time I'm done, I've got a whole edited video, which is a nice idea too. Exactly, Nana. And if you go to some of these diamond painting groups on Facebook, that I think most of them don't even know a whole YouTube community exists to go and get advice from. But they are just giving the worst possible advice I've ever heard. And it's just like, the one that gets me the most is the ceiling discussions. Some of these people, I don't know where they got it from or who's doing it or who showed it to them, but they're going out and buying this Minwax stuff and they're putting it on their diamond paintings. And then when they do, or somebody else, they recommend it to somebody else and somebody else does it, then the person that does it looks at it and goes, well, that took away all the sparkle off my painting. Well, yeah, because you're putting a damn shell over top of your drills. You're obliterating what makes them sparkle, is the facets. When you put something over those facets that basically flattens them out and flattens out those sharp edges around the facets, you're going to lose your sparkle. And they're like, well, I never use Mod Podge. It dulls my drills. Well, yeah, because you're putting it on in a thick layer and you're covering your drills with it. And that's not what sealing is about. Sealing is just about getting down into the cracks between the drills. That's what sealing is for. It's not meant to cover your drills. You water down your Mod Podge. You thin it out and you spread it on and you let it get down between the drills without covering the drills. And that way you still got a sealed piece and it's still sparkly. But yeah, they're using this Minwax polyacrylic stuff and it's like, no, don't use that. You want something thin and watery, basically, that will get down in between them drills without covering it up. You just want a thin layer. You want to brush it in really good and get it down in between them drills, and don't let it pile up on top. Because the second you start obscuring those facets is when you start losing your sparkle. Well, I don't know who started it, but it really caught on amongst all the beginners, I'll tell you that much. Oh, guess what? I think I'm done with that color now. Maybe, maybe not. Nope, there's some more. I'm still partway through filming a time lapse on this one. As soon as I get a chance to sit down and film some more, I will. Ah, okay. I got you, Nana. I don't even know who that is. Guess it is not somebody that I have been in, come into my circle yet. But yeah, I'm still thinking about doing the geominders thing too. It's still a thought. I'd have to get the stuff I need to make minders, like magnets. And I have to make up templates for the little thing that comes with it. It's like the little fact sheet about it, about each rock. I have to come up with a template like that of one that I can just change one or two things here and there for each rock that I send out or whatever, and print it out and send it. That's not too hard. It's just a matter of actually sitting down to do it. And when you have ADHD, you always intend to do something and it never happens. Yeah, I saw the message, Nana. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm. If I have seen that person, I don't remember it. But I've spent an awful lot of time in some of those groups correcting that stuff. It's like, I mean, I tell them the same thing. I just kind of, I almost have like a copy and paste that I can put in there. It's like, the idea behind sealing is not to create a shell over your diamond painting. It is instead meant to get down between the drills and filling the gaps and adding a little bit of extra adhesion to the canvas. So make sure whatever it is a thin and watery type of substance, such as Liquitex gloss varnish will work because it's almost like watery, and spread it on really well. Don't just pour it on and leave it like a shell. Spread it in really well with a regular brush and let it get down between the drills and then let it dry. It creates a nice seal there between your drills and to the canvas, and that seems to be something that works really, really well. And just regular gloss Mod Podge with a foam paintbrush. You dip the foam paintbrush in water first, then you kind of dip just the chisel tip into the Mod Podge, and you brush it in really, really, really well. And that'll get it down in between the drills without leaving it on top of the drills. I mean, for that matter, Elmer's glue would do the same thing, but Elmer's glue tends to dry kind of cloudy. Ooh. Is it really? Already? That late? Wow. But that 2 hours flew by, y'all. I did not realize that. All right. Well. Oh. I guess turning on that camera would help. There I am. I am here. Oh, let me put the media source over there. There we go. All right, y'all. It is 10 o'clock p.m. Do you know where your children are? Oh. Okay, I know some of y'all got to remember that one. I know Nana remembers that one. Actually, that used to happen at 11 p.m. When I grew up in Maryland, that used to come on TV at 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Then again, I still remember the national anthem coming on at midnight, and then the channel went to snow overnight. There was no all-night programming, unless you had cable, and then when cable came out, that kind of changed things on that end, but the local TV channels still stopped airing at midnight. And I don't know exactly when they went to 24, when everybody started going to 24-hour coverage on regular local channels anymore. I don't even remember that. It just happened at one time. But yeah, I remember being up at 11 o'clock at night and hearing that come on the TV. It's 11 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Yeah, they do what they want to do. Maybe we need those reminders again. maybe Gen Z wouldn't have turned out the way it did. And Gen Alpha's getting worse. Gen Alpha, which is the youngest generation right now. I was watching something the other day that was about the different generations, and Gen Alpha is the very first generation that where none of them knew a world without the internet. Some millennials actually saw the world without the internet in the very beginning, where Gen Alpha, most of them have tablets by the time they're 3 years old, and they're being raised on tablets and streaming and YouTube and screens. They're the screen generation. And the funny part is, I remember a world without the internet, but now I can't imagine the world without it. It's like I can remember what it was like to not have the internet and to not have social media, and you actually had to call somebody on the phone to talk to them, or you had to go to their house and visit them. And yet at the same time, I can't imagine not or ever having to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. I remember having to sit near the phone because there was a cord on it. And if you were lucky enough, your parents bought like a 20-foot cord that you got all tangled up in by the time the conversation was over with. But yet I couldn't imagine still having to do that now. I mean, I can't, I can remember it, but I can't imagine having done it. Because the internet has been out for so long and been around for so long that it's just become such a normal part of life that I can't imagine going back to what it was before. And sometimes I think it would be a good thing to go back to what it was before, to be honest with you. It was so much simpler time, and there wasn't so much division. There wasn't so much misinformation. And if you asked a kid on the street what state California was in, they wouldn't be stumped. I mean, honestly, I've seen that. Those videos make me laugh every time. Somebody on the street asking like the easiest questions in the world, and these people don't know it. And I'm just like, you're welcome. But if you ask them what outfit Taylor Swift wore last Saturday night, they'd be able to tell you exactly what outfit it was, what city she was in, and what her set list was. You know? But they can't answer simple questions that they should know. I literally saw somebody asked, what state is New Hampshire in? And they did not know. They answered something like Wyoming or something. It's like, really? And these folks are the people that are going to be deciding what nursing home we get put in. Idiocracy was not just a comedy movie. It was a prophetic documentary. All right, y'all. It is, about 10:15 or so. So I am going to head off of here and go find out what all of today's newest Alabama news is, because it obviously may not be good news, because it has not been good news for the last, 10 days since Saban retired. There's just been one player after another leaving town. Maybe there's some good news today. So I will catch y'all next Sunday. Same time, same place. Until then, rock on, y'all, and roll tide.